people of Reddit, what is your craziest military story? They called him Reyes. No one really knew his first name, not because he hid it, but because no one ever asked. In the army, names are worn on uniforms and shouted during drills, but no one ever says them softly, not like a friend would. He joined when he was 19, said he was tired of small-town nothingness, and wanted to do something real. His recruiter called it honor, his mom called it madness, but Reyes, he just wanted to feel something. Boot camp wasn't the shock he expected, it was worse. They break you down to build you up, someone had told him. What they didn't say was that not all the pieces come back together, but he made it. Through strong, quiet obedience. By his 3rd month overseas, he'd stopped keeping track of time. Out there in the dust and sun, time didn't matter. You ate when you could, slept if lucky, and prayed if you still believed in anything. Reyes was assigned to convoy patrols in a hostile zone, long, slow treks through roads that could hide IEDs under pebbles. Every ride was a dice roll. Most came back with stories. Some didn't come back at all. There was one mission. It was supposed to be a simple escort through a small village. The kind of route you'd done a dozen times, maybe 100. Kids playing in alleys? Locals pretending not to see you? The usual. Until it wasn't. An explosion louder than anything he'd ever heard swallowed their lead vehicle. The shockwave hit Reyes so hard, he didn't realize he'd lost part of his hearing until days later. Remembers dragging his buddy Morales out of the fire. At least he thinks it was Morales. Hard to tell when half the face is gone. Back at base, there were no speeches, no medals, just a night of silence. One guy smoked in the dark. Another cried in the latrine. Reyes sat alone, staring at his shaking hands. He never said a word. He started talking less, sleeping less, but fighting more. The enemy was now everywhere, even inside his own head. When the tour ended, he went home. Sort of his town hadn't changed. The corner store still sold the same sandwiches. The old men still played dominoes outside the barbershop. But Reyes wasn't the same. He got a job security, of course. Wore a uniform again. Not because he liked it, but because it made people not ask questions. People avoided eye contact with men in uniform. He preferred it that way. Sometimes, late at night, the dreams came back. Flashbacks, screams, faces he didn't recognize, sounds he couldn't shut off. He drank, but not to forget to delay remembering. His mother said he'd become distant. Friends called less. His phone rang only for bills. Then one day he didn't show up to work. When his boss checked his apartment, he found Reyes sitting on the floor, photos of his unit spread out like evidence. He was alive, but barely present. When asked what happened, Reyes just said, "I stayed too long over there." He started attending a support group for veterans. Once a week. Never spoke. Just sad. But one day someone brought up guilt. Survivor's guilt. That night Reyes talked. For 2 hours. Didn't cry. Didn't break down. Just talked. Like he was unloading years of silence in one breath. They say talking helps. It didn't fix him. But it helped him start writing. Journals, letters, even poems. He never shared them, but he carried them with him. One day Reyes vanished again. Left his apartment, job, and phone behind. Some say he went back overseas as a contractor. Others say he's off the grid. Maybe living in the woods. Maybe just walking until the noise in his head gets quiet. No one really knows. But every year, on the day of that convoy explosion, a letter shows up at the support group. No return address. Just a single line. Still walking.